Hello, everybody. All right, let me see who's all in the chat. Risey was the first one in here. Dat Boy Butter, A6 Giddy. Saw you guys were having a nice little chit chat. JEB Josh, Jeb Josh, I'm not sure how to say your name. Eighth Life, A Bad Media, Bufo's in here. Who else we got in here? GeorgeLife.com, Eighth Life, Zebby Jones. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? All right. Apparently, when I was on Instagram Live, I accidentally knocked somebody off of a conversation. Oops, if you were a part of that, my deepest apologies. But with that being said, let's jump into some announcements. So if you haven't already seen, we've launched BeatStars distribution, so you can release your music to over 30 digital streaming and download platforms and keep 100% of the earnings we collect for you. We give you unlimited releases, the addition of collaborators for free, and content ID. So if you're ready to take a new step in your career today, you can visit www.beatstars.com/distribution. And as you guys should know by now, and I know a few of you have actively been joining the conversations, but every single day, 4 p.m., we go live on Twitter Spaces, so you can follow us at BeatStars on Twitter, access it from your mobile device. Abe will be there today with Sydney talking about BeatStars distribution, so if you have any questions and want to join that conversation, make sure you guys head over there immediately after this at 4 o'clock. But to kick off the show, you know the script. Welcome back to The Deal. I'm Tia. I'm the Music Opportunities Manager here at BeatStars. If you're new to The Deal, we are highlighting our BeatStars Publishing roster. BeatStars Publishing is a partnership between BeatStars and Sony Music Publishing, who are the #1 global music publisher in the world. If you're interested in finding out more information, including how you can sign up for BeatStars Publishing, you can head over to beatsstarspublishing.com. No, you can head over to at BeatStars Publishing to follow us on Instagram. Sorry, I don't know why I just blanked, but follow us on Instagram, see some of our roster, learn a little bit about their tips and tricks, their processes, which is also what today's show is for. We have 18 Music and Wishmaster Beats here with us today. If you want to watch more of this show later, rewatch it, any of our other interviews, you can head over to youtube.com/official BeatStars, and don't forget to subscribe to be notified of new uploads. We're putting new content up all of the time. Ooh. And then obviously we want to introduce you guys to the men of the hour. So 18 Wishmaster, hello guys. The Deal family, 18 and Wishmaster.
What's up, guys?
The Deal family. I don't know who wants to go first, but who wants to, I guess, introduce themselves and just let us know, kind of like we just did on Instagram Live, but who you are, where you're from, and how you got started in music. Who wants to go first?
You go first, man. This is your first one, so go ahead.
Okay, okay, thank you.
On the spot.
Okay, so I go by the name of 18. I was born and raised in a small city near Italy, which is a completely different reality. So we'll talk about that later on. Yeah, I started by uploading beats on YouTube, but before that I was playing drums and playing like in bands since I was like a little kid. I started at 7 years old, when I was 7, and basically what I did was like becoming more interested in like electronic music growing up, like when I was 14, 15 years old. And at the beginning, I actually wanted like to become a DJ, basically, because I had no idea of what a producer was. And I just thought that people that played on stages, like, and made mashups and DJ sets was what I wanted to do. But yeah, growing up and getting like more knowledge overall over the music industry in general, I felt like I wanted to make the tracks that the DJs were playing, basically, and not like being the one that was playing other people's music. And that's why I remember grabbing a copy of Fruity Loops and just starting messing around on it and just making my first hip hop rap beats. I also tried making some like electronic music, but I don't know, I that wasn't the right path for me eventually, and I just started making like hip hop beats after like 1 or 2 years of just producing all by myself, just showing nothing to no one. I decided like to open a YouTube channel and started uploading regularly beats. And I also found out about BeatStars through other people, other producers that I saw on the YouTube community, and I felt like that was like the right choice, at least to give it a shot and try to see if it was actually if I was able to make a living out of my own music and out of my own beats. And yeah, that was made possible by BeatStars, of course, and all the artwork that of course we put in every day. But yeah, that's basically the beginning of my career and how I started making music.
Thank you for that really great introduction as to who you are. I think I was saying this to you on Instagram live, but when I was playlisting on the platform as the playlister, I would see your name come up a lot. So I'm really excited to talk to you about how you got up there. I know you've also shared with me that you have 20,000 YouTube subscribers, and your channel's still growing there as well. So I know a lot of guys in the chat are looking for insights on how to build those things out.
Of course.
Wysh, same question for you. How did you get started in the game? Where are you based? Your background, basically.
Yeah, so I started as a shout out to Bufo.
You have so many fans in the chat already.
I'm laughing my ass off because about getting a boat and stuff. We'll talk about that later. But basically, I started off as a DJ. I'm from Chicago, so I was really into the house scene. And then we had something called Ghetto House, which is like we used to take old rap songs and like mix it with like house music, like Crucial Conflict. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Do or Die. No. Okay. But Twister. Nobody knows Twister is? Oh God! All right. Anyways,
Twister, the rapper that raps really fast. Is that who you're talking about?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So that's Twister. So yeah, I worked with him too. But anyway, I started as a DJ, and then I was really into like Timberland and Dre and Neptunes and stuff, and I was spinning a lot of their music. And I basically after doing some like parties and clubs and stuff, I was like, instead of playing the music that people are reacting to, I want to make the music people react to. So I started like studying some of my favorite music. Like I was really into like 3 6 Mafia and stuff. So same thing. I started doing hip hop beats, and then from there, I was like, I was making beats and I didn't know what to do. I was like doing security at the time, and I started going online. I had a computer, and I'm like, all right, what do I do now that I have these beats? And then there's this website. So I'm one of the originators of like online leasing. Just so you guys know, I've been doing this like 20 some years. But there's a website called mp3.com, and it was a website that people are just putting their beats up, and I just started putting beats online, and then they started selling. So that's basically how I got my start from just from a DJ to making beats.
I think if you guys didn't catch that, I think between the two of you, you both wanted to start making music for similar reasons. 18 said he wants to make the music that the DJ's playing. You want to make the music that people are writing to. So I think it's within the same vein, just finding your place and working your way up towards that. Where do I want to go with this conversation? Because I just feel like there's so much we could talk about here. But I guess I'm going to start with the jokes in the chat. Everyone's asking about Wysh's bat signal in the back there. I love the branding.
Yeah, so yeah, you could. Yeah, I got it from this guy. He makes it's glow signs on Instagram, and it's super cheap. He makes it out of wood, and you get your logo, and then he puts the LEDs, and yeah, it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could go with the process, making music. Like, how do you guys from the conception of the beat to trying to get it to an artist? I think that's kind of the timeline that I want to follow here. So what are some of your best practices, or how did you learn how to produce even? What were some of the avenues that you took? And I guess I'll start with 18. I know that you've kind of bounced around different sounds. You mentioned starting with Fruity Loops. So yeah, I mean, share.
Okay, so basically I started by searching up tutorials on YouTube because I had no idea at the beginning how you made a beat, basically. And I feel like nowadays, if you want to learn something, the internet is literally the best place to do that. You have like unlimited options. But after like watching a couple of tutorials, I feel like the biggest part of learning came from just practicing and like exploring the different options and like functionalities that the like 3D loops had. And yeah, so I started by just messing around and like making really basic hip hop beats, rap beats that were definitely trash. Yeah, let's say that. But once you get like your practice going and you like practice every day, you try to improve. At least for me, I try to improve like 1% basically every day. Just it could be like some music theory or just I don't know, rhythmic stuff, or even just listening to music. But yeah, if you try to really step up your game by little pieces by time, it gets like better and it's easier to learn. And yeah, that's basically how I started and what's my process. But in terms of like how to really make beats right now, it really depends on like the vibe that I'm on. Sometimes I just start from like making a sample, which is like yeah, making different melodies and like coming up with a sample and then flipping it, adding drums and all that. But sometimes I feel like switching up the process helps a lot with like staying creative and consistent over time, because if you like just repeat the same process every day, you can get definitely stuck in like beat block or whatever it is or whatever it's called. But that's basically it. And then I just upload it to BeatStars and YouTube and the artists go on it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Wysh, I guess my question for you is the same, but also maybe you can share a little bit about how you've been able to toggle between DJing and then creating, especially, I guess, when you're DJing, you have this understanding of trend and what people want to hear. So how have you been able to translate that into what you created?
Yeah, so I basically stopped DJing. Like from that point on, I was like, I just want to make beats. I just want to make music. So but I did have, I had already had rhythm from doing the DJing and everything. So which was
Right.
cool. And I could bring some of that stuff over, especially like scratching and stuff. I used to throw scratches in my beats, if I was doing like some boom bap. But basically, my process of starting to make beats was just biting everybody that I liked. So I just basically stole Dr. Dre's sound, Timberland, Neptune's. And I just studied how they put beats together, how big their drums were, and I would just make those type of beats. And I was actually known online because people were like, if you want a Dre beat, go to Wysh. If you want a Neptune's beat, go to Wysh. And then I did that for a couple of years until I found my own sound. But it took me to actually study how they put their beats together for me to actually find my own sound. But that's how I got my bounce and was able to, be able to do different genres and everything. And then now, I'm like a schizophrenic when it comes to beats. I mean, I can make a pop Katy Perry beat and then turn around and make like a country beat because I just do every genre.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I just released 5 beats. I've been doing a beat a day. Mike Trampy, shout out, I know he's in here. He taught me to drop a beat a day. So I'm doing a 30-day challenge for myself. But I'll drop like a weekend pop beat and then I'll turn around and do like a Migos type beat right afterwards. And it's just whatever I'm feeling that day. So same as 18, I'll just start making melodies. I'm like, all right, this would sound cool for this or that. And I do like to watch the Mike Tramp used to drop 5 beats a day.
No,
that's funny. But I do watch the trends too, just to see what's going on. And there's a thing, people are like, oh, you can't, if you want to be a producer and stick out, you can't watch trends. It's like, that's BS. You can still be yourself and still see what the trends are. If people are looking for a certain type of beat, you can still make your type, you can put your sound into it. But if people are looking for, Migos just dropping an album, why wouldn't you not put something out there? And because it's going to get a lot of views. So.
Yeah, I think that's a discussion that we have on here a lot, is just like playing that game between creating within like a specific niche that's comfortable for you and also being able to sustain by way of trends or trend forecasting and finding that balance. So I think that's pretty interesting. Just, I guess for both of you, my next question is what is one thing that you think all producers should know? It could be a thing, it could be a tool, it could be a piece of advice, whichever you want, but one main thing that's super important. And I'll start with 18.
Okay, so the first thing that came up to my mind is all about like being consistent and like achieving your goals. And I feel like most of producer, or at least people who are just starting to get like to music and making music, feel like you see all these producers winning around you and like, I mean, having placements and all that. But the thing that everybody needs to know, it's definitely that it takes time to like get where you want to be, but it's definitely worth like putting in every hour of work and every day. And so yeah, you just gotta have that in mind every day when you make music. And it's basically just a mental game of like staying like locked in and focused on what you want to get and what you want to pursue. And yeah, I feel like that's the advice I would give to producers.
Thank you. Wysh, what about you?
There's not one answer, but if I have to put one answer, it's going to be marketing. As a producer, you need to know how to market, and that comes with everything from emailing to customer service. That took me from making maybe $4 to $5 grand a month to like 20 grand a month, because once you learn how to actually build with people and treat your, I'll say potential customers like you're working in a studio. Say I'm a music producer, I'm not just a beat maker, so I'm used to working in studios with artists. You got to treat everybody that comes through, like your website or whatever, same way. You want to introduce yourself, tell your story, relate to them. And I think that's the number one thing that as a producer, you should learn marketing, because that's what's going to take you to that next level and be able to do this as a sustainable income. So
100%. So then with that being said, what are some of your tips, or one major tip to making marketing make sense for your beat store?
Retargeting. 100% is so. Most people that visit your site, you're probably gonna get like maybe 3%, 1 to 3% of people are actually gonna buy right when they hit your beat site. That's just how the world is. But retargeting is basically, setting up something where you can either run an ad or whatever, or even an email to say, hey, I know you're at my website. Here's, even give them a discount, or just introduce yourself and start a conversation. And then, most of the time they'd be like, oh yeah, I was at your site, I really love those beats. And I'm like, yeah, let me go back and grab those beats I was looking at. And you don't have to do paid advertisement to retargeting. That could be like your email. Like, I think the number one way that I like to do retargeting is by giving away free beats on BeatStars, because you can integrate it with your email. And then by that, you can start a whole conversation with somebody just by doing that. So I think that's the number one way, is retargeting.
Okay, I hope you guys wrote that down. 18, what about you? What's one solid marketing tip that you would have for making sense of your beat stores? I mean, I know you specifically cross-reference between your YouTube and your store, but maybe you have a main tip.
Yeah, I feel like a main tip will probably be staying really active on all social medias, and just trying to like when you make a beat, try to get it to as many people as possible. I feel like if you making a story of you making that beat, or just going live on Instagram, you generate like traction, and people will be interested in like see how that beat turns out, or like listening to the final beat. What I do is also like try to make some quick like videos to post like on Instagram of me making beats basically, and just like editing a couple of different shots of me making beats. And I feel like that's a pretty like cool and creative way to like generate traction. And yeah, I feel like that's the what I do, at least.
Yeah, I think that's I think those are both, from the both of you, amazing tips. I think there's within both of what you said, there's this social interaction element, and that's the networking that we talk about ever so often on this show, where you have to make yourself available in some capacity. I think for 18, for your process, it's like casting a large net, and I think that you can gain a lot of traction across multiple channels this way. And then with Wysh, you're holding on to the people who are actually like showing direct interest. So I hope you guys are writing these notes down. I hope you're taking this all in. I think what's also interesting just between the two of you is like, Wysh, you've worked with a lot of gigantic names who are legends. And then 18, you mentioned to me, which we'll talk about from the both of you, is that you work with as many people as you can, which has afforded you the opportunity to work with a lot of independent or upcoming artists. So I want to talk about that contrast a little bit, but I'm going to start with 18. So what are some ways that you're reaching out or making use of your network so that you're able to connect with these independent or smaller or rising artists? I know you've got a credit with 404 Vincent, so maybe you can share what that looks like for you.
Yeah, so as you were saying, I at the moment don't have like any major placements, and I feel like I don't want to chase that too much, but I feel like when it comes, it comes. But being open, like to work with everyone, I feel it's a pretty important thing. And most of the times there are people just contacting me, saying they found out about my YouTube channel, and I try to like genuinely build like a relationship with them. And yeah, but other times there are like just I talk with managers of independent artists, like in that case with 404 Vincent, or also with like Curtis Roach. But yeah, I feel like the point is about being yourself, and even when you reach out to artists you want to work with, and also when they DM you and you're not the one who's reaching out, just like be yourself, show like some genuine interest in like working, or like tell them why if you don't want to work with them, and just overall being like giving constructive criticism and all that. I feel like it's really important. You don't gotta like have to act like someone else. You just gotta do what you want to do, and like being yourself. But yeah, that's basically how I reach out to people, and how most of my collaborations came lately.
I don't think it matters if you're working with like a superstar or a brand new artist. I think showing up and being like genuine and offering everything that you can within that exchange should happen all across the board. So I love your process. Wysh.
Thank you.
Toss it over to you. So you've, like I said, you've worked with legends. What has afforded you that opportunity? Maybe you can share some of your favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say this because there's a lot of new producers in there, and like I do not chase placements. Like that is not the way to go. Like the only reason I even have major placements is because I started selling beats online. If you build something, they will come. Like the only reason I even got any of that stuff is because I started selling beats online, and I did what he was talking about. Is I just started putting beats out there. I started building relationships, and then all of a sudden my name started getting out there. It's like, someone who does construction, it's a word of mouth, right? It's like, oh, who did your house? Who did your thing? Oh, this person did. It's the same thing with producers. Like, oh, who did that beat? Look at the Cash Monies and the Old Town Road producer. I don't know his name, sorry, but these guys just got beats that were online, and then all of a sudden people started talking about who did that beat, and then all of a sudden they're getting placements off of that. Placements is not the ultimate place to be. I'm just telling you guys, you can make more money online selling beats, and you can have a lot more fun, and you get to actually like have fans in different countries. Like there's nothing better than that. But it is fun work with big artists, and like I said, I'm a producer, so I actually work in the studio with people. I'm actually working with Tech Nine right now on his new album. And it was because people started seeing me like, damn, this dude's dropping beats. He's dropping social media stuff. Like he's got a lot of shit going on. People want to work with people that have stuff going on. If like you're not doing anything, you're not posting, you're not putting beats up, and nobody's, or you're not really relevant anymore, then people are like, I don't want to work with that person. He's not really bringing anything to the table, So the more that you're actually doing is when people are going to start reaching out to you. You never know what kind of opportunity is going to happen from that, So like one of my biggest songs that I got nominated for Grammy is I'm on a Boat. I just happened to be in the studio working with Nelly, and there was a record label in town that said, hey, we're looking for beats for this mixtape for this artist in East St. Louis. And Nelly's like, oh, check out my boy Wysh, right? And then I basically gave some throwaway beats because I'm like, this is some mixtape shit. I'm not trying to do this, but I'm sorry for swearing.
No, you can swear. You're all good.
And then all of a sudden that turned into a beat that was T-Pain and got nominated for Grammy and everything. And that was just because I was, because of the networking and everything. So you never know what's going to happen. That's why just keep working hard, keep staying relevant, keep putting beats online. You're going to, somebody's going to reach out to you that might know somebody or might be friends with, Amigos or whoever, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. You're like, a lot of people are like, wait, Tech9 in the chat, like your list of credits is supreme. It is extensive.
Thank you.
And within that, what's funny is the I'm on a boat track. I don't know if you know or if you've seen, but it's like making this resurgence as far as TikTok goes now for the summer. So it's just like there's people discovering this track or rediscovering this track that literally like had a hold on us for like over a year. I vividly remember that song coming out.
Which is great for my publishing situation because now you guys collect it for me. So there you go.
Hello, there you go. So maybe of your credits. So you've got credits with Tech9. I saw Rick Ross, T-Pain, The Lonely Island, obviously. On your B page, you've got Christina Milian, Ashanti, Yo Gotti, 8 Ball. Like, you've got names. But what's your favorite of all of the tracks you've been able to do?
Oh man, that's tough. I'm honestly gonna say Tech9 because he's the most down-to-earth artist. Don't get me wrong, I worked with Nelly for like 3 years in the studio, super talented dude. Tech9 is just like every time, like right now, like we can't, like he's in Kansas City, I'm in Nashville. So I'm sending him beats, but he's just like, thank you. Like, he's like appreciative, like, oh, thank you for sending these beats. I'm going to bless these and I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool because it motivates me to like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this, And it seems like the new artists you work with are always the ones that like the new money. They're like rude. Like, man, nah, this needs to hit more. Like, like they don't make you feel motivated sometimes. You're like, all right, whatever, But yeah, I'd say Tech is probably my favorite.
And I guess you could speak to that too. Like, what does it take to build a real synergy with an artist that affords you the opportunity to continue working with them? What do you think are some key pieces of the relationship you guys have?
Being, just like you thanked us for being on time today. It's like, yeah, that's part of it. Be on time, because if you're not on time to the studio, or let's say you're sending something to somebody and you say, oh, I'll send that to you tomorrow, and you don't, you lost an opportunity because there's other producers that would just stand in line to be able to do that. And being attentive, like if you have the opportunity, like even if you send a beat online to Japan or whatever, always follow up and be like, hey, can I check it out? I'd love to give you my opinion. If you want me to mix the beat better, if you want me to add anything, like I would love to do that for you. They're like, man, they don't just care about a paycheck at the end of the day. They're like really trying to make music, like love what you do. If you're making music with somebody, like be there to do it. Don't just like, oh, I just made $100 good, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't work. So
yeah, show up and be your best self all across the board. 18, what about you? What do you think are some things that you need for synergy in a relationship in order to continue it as far as artist producer goes?
Yeah, I feel like what Wysh saying is really important, and I feel that pretty much because I'm also like in a completely different time zone, so it's way harder for me to just get like on the same path as you guys, because I'm like right now it's 9:30 p.m. and it's your afternoon just started, but I feel like just sending out beats, just try to like get the people you want to work with some packs, just maybe every week, or like but don't push it too much. If you see like that there's no like feedback or nothing, you don't gotta be like the one like, hey, essential like 40 beats every 2 days, or people are just gonna start ignoring you. Just gotta find like your way to connect, and that's kind of what I was telling before. Like for me, it really helps just being myself and like staying very like human. Just I don't know. I feel like being yourself, it's probably the key point of that. But as since I don't have like that many I don't know, that many placements or that many like big artists. I don't have like that part going on right now, and I feel like I can speak just for like independent artists.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's big. That I think that applies for the both of the two.
Can I say something real quick on top of that though?
Yeah, of course.
Just how you said you have any placements, you don't know yet because you like everybody's like, oh, I want to work with Eminem, I want to work with this person. I'm saying like, work with someone you believe in now because they're going to be the new artist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Going to be your placement because you're going to work with the next baby or little baby or whoever, and then all of a sudden now you're that dude because you're the one who produced that artist. So that's
100%.
Instead of chasing placements, find the people that right now are starting to bubble or that you think like really believe in, and then that's going to be your placement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what's interesting for 18 is like I know that you're mentioning, you know, being on the other side of the world from, I guess, where the central sound is coming from, but I think you also have an interesting or more particular lens on music because you actually see what's translating where you are. And I think a lot of people also focus on really, you know, tapping into North America, which is important, but also there are artists that, you know, people here may not really pay attention to who are blowing up on the other side of the world. So you see what's coming across and what's working. So you have that to offer too, as far as like sound and structure. So I think, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course.
I want to briefly also talk about like teams and if there's anybody that helps you in terms of like building your own empire. I know 18, you're part of Odd Status, which is a producer collective, and I imagine you guys bounce ideas off of each other all the time, but maybe you can talk about that structure as well. Yeah,
of course. I feel like being in a music collective is a pretty cool thing because, as I was saying before, there are so many days where you get stuck like in the same process, and having like someone you can relate to or someone you can just work with, even if it's like an individual project or it's something all the guys are working on. It feels like you have something new to make every day, and that's what it keeps you going on and like making music. But yeah, we have a lot of cool projects and things we're working on in terms of like sample packs, but also we're working directly with artists. I mean, unfortunately, I can't travel right now to USA, but we're having like some sessions, and that's pretty cool. I can't wait like to tell you more about that, but I can't tell you too much right now.
We love the exclusives, but yes, please don't that you can't tell. Wysh, what about you? Do you have a team that supports you and helps you organize, or do you do everything on your own?
That's my biggest weakness, actually. I don't have a team. It's hard for me to trust people to work as hard as I do, and but it's something that's my personal problem. I need to find somebody or some people that could help me with things because I do all my own email marketing. I reply to everybody's email, which is insane. All my own graphics, my own video stuff, and it's getting overwhelming. And especially when you start getting into higher numbers, you're like, man, I do need to get help. And I have people that I work with that are like, man, they have teams and stuff, and they're like, you have to find a team. You have to find people to help you. And it's just that, like I said, it's just a personal thing. It's hard to trust people, and I'm from the music industry, and I've been screwed over so many times there that like you're kind of jaded, and you're like, man, they're not gonna really do what they say, or they're not, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's something I'm working on. I think this year I'm gonna try to find at least one person first, and maybe even just help me with email marketing and stuff. But I also want to be genuine too. It's like I don't want to hire somebody like to just, hey, talk like me and answer back to your emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 18, like you said, you have to be yourself. Like I myself, I start swearing in the emails, or I make whatever. So like that's, but at the end of the day, I do have to find a team to work with, because that's teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Right. But I think at least like the one silver lining is you at least know what amount of energy everything takes, and you have a set precedent as far as what you want. So I think it's easier to communicate the things you want when you've been the one doing them for so long. So I'm wishing you the best of luck in setting that up. But I guess on the other end of that is you're not all the way alone because you guys are both signed to BeatStars Publishing. So I'm just wondering what made you guys want to take that step and come over to the BeatStars side. I'll start with 18.
Okay, yeah, I felt like the opportunity of working with BeatStars and Sony was like the right choice because you guys have the right leverage in the industry, and of course Sony is one of the biggest in the game. But I felt like I needed to be like more prepared for eventual like placements or like opportunities, and I feel like it's super important to have everything set up before that actually happens, because let's say that you have a big placement, a really big placement, and when you come in after like it happens, it just takes more time. It's more difficult to get it right. But if you actually have all the cards ready when that happens, it's just you have everything ready to go basically.
No, I feel that, and I guess just the back end is important to you, and having that organized accordingly. So, I mean, we're lucky to have you, and I'm glad you're here. What about you, Wysh? What was the catalyst for you signing with this?
Well, first, Bufo on the beat says I have more trust issues than my ex. Well, that's why you have an ex. There you go.
Whoa!
Well, first of all, I want to say, because of BeatStars, why I'm able to do a lot of stuff myself too, though, because the email is integrated, and the beat is sent to them. Like, you guys have to understand, like I came from like having to like make my own contracts and send them beats sometimes in the mail. Like, BeatStars made everything so easy for me. It's like I don't gotta do anything. It's like it's all integrated, like their name, their dates, and everything, and the contract. Like, it's amazing. The reason so before this publishing deal, I was with another publisher, and I don't want to say the name or anything and talk bad about them, but they gave me a good percentage, but they didn't have any fire underneath them where they're like, let's go chase and get you some stuff. Like, for BeatStars to do a admin deal and give you opportunity to get placements, like that doesn't happen, guys. Like, publishers, like, if you sign an admin deal, they're just like, we're gonna collect and we'll register your songs, but that's it, which is great. You don't have to do it yourself, so you can spend more time creatively. But BeatStars, I mean, first of all, Sony pays once a month, right? Or is it every month, right? I think it's every month.
I'm not sure the specifics.
Okay, yeah, they do. All right. So you get paid every month instead of every twice a year with most publishers. And like I said, they send you emails with like, hey, this person, and these are bigger artists too. They're like, these are people looking for beats. This is what they're looking for, which is called the Who's Looking list. And like I said, that doesn't happen with the admin deal, especially for the small percentage they're taking from you. So that was my biggest thing. And like I said, the one-on-one contact with them, they reach out to me, make sure everything's good. I talk to Greg all the time. Greg's a good dude. But yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, thank you for that beautiful answer. Sorry, I laughed through like half of it because I just cannot believe you just took Bufo out at the knees like that.
I know,
That man be getting spicy in the chat every week.
I gotta get these gangsters out of it now. Bufo's a cool dude, man. He's one of the coolest dudes I've ever seen. Like, anybody who puts others first, man, he's one of those dudes. So
Bufo's great. Wow, sorry. But anyways, yeah, I'm really glad that you feel that way about, basically being on our team. And I think BeatStars is in such a unique position as far as supporting the creators that we work with regularly, especially you guys. And it's a fair trade because everybody's so talented. So it's just, it comes easy. And again, we're happy to have you. But with that being said, I guess now is the perfect time to play some of your work. I guess, guys, in the chat, vote the first three of whoever's name I see first is who will play first.
Do you want to answer questions in here too, or just do play the beats?
I mean, we can talk in between playing the beats if there's anything to share.
I think somebody asked if it's I have a lot of beats with hooks, if that helps, and I 100%. Anybody who if you're dropping beats, that's great. But if you can get people to do hooks on your beats, that's 100% going to help you selling beats online. And you don't have to find somebody locally. Like, just go online, see who these hook writers are, and reach out to them. And just say, hey, I would love to do some collaborations with you. But yeah, that definitely does help beat selling for sure.
Sorry, I missed that question. I did not see it, so I hope
I popped up there a long time ago. I saw it. So.
Okay, I hope everybody was able to catch that. Actually, before we play the music, I guess we're gonna go with 18 first because that was the vote. But before we jump into that, I'd really love to know, like, because you guys are both on different ends of the spectrum as far as your experience goes. What's some advice for producers, both new and who have been in the game for years, from your lens? Like, what's something you want them to know? And it doesn't have to be technical. It could literally be like spiritual if you want. But 18, I'll start with you first.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give like a couple of tips. First of all, like if you're trying to build a fan base on YouTube and like releasing type beats, what I would suggest is just try to find like your niche of like artists that you wanna produce for, and you don't gotta like, I mean, you still can like drop like different type of music, but at the end of the day, what it worked for me was like finding a couple of artists, or like 2 to 5 artists that I like producing for, and building on top of that. Just stay consistent, like try to drop the beats every other day basically, and on the same like days and hours, so that people knows that day your beats are coming up, or like you're releasing music on certain days of the week. And I'll also like try to work as many producers as possible, because if you combine forces, it's literally so much easier and faster to grow, because you just like post the same beat on 2 different channels and you get double sales, double plays and everything. So that's a pretty big advice. In terms of like music production, like my main advice is switch up the like your workflow when you make beats, and you will find out that it's easier to like stay creative and like find different ways of making beats. Just sometimes start from a sample, sometimes like listen to some vinyls, I don't know, and sample that, or sometimes I just start from like percussion loops or drum loops. But it's really about switching it up and changing every day, or I mean, it doesn't have to be like every day, but when you feel like you're getting stuck, just switch it up. And sometimes you can create something cool, sometimes you just get stuck in the beat block thing. But yeah, that's part of the game. So yeah, just stick with it.
So it's like consistency, collaboration, and I'm trying to think of another C.
Probably
change also. Change and consistency in the same vein. I don't know. Wysh, what about you?
Number 1, marketing. 2, marketing. 3, marketing. No, just learn marketing for anybody in business. Yeah. If you sell beats or not, like you have to learn how to market. That's what's gonna make it so you can have a successful business. 2 is just love what you do. Like if you only come into music just to make money, like it's not gonna last, because you don't love what you're doing. So like really enjoy making. Like I make beats, it's my therapy. I don't care if I can sell them at all. I just when I sit down and make beats, I'm like, I forget everything that's going on in the world. And sometimes you got to zoom out, and meaning that like if you have a shitty few days of selling beats or something, and you're like, man, I'm done with this. Look, well, 2 days I made $500. Okay, well then you made $500 for the week. You didn't just make 3 days of zero, right? Or sometimes if you have a shitty couple weeks, look at the month. How'd your month go? And then if the month didn't do well, look at the year. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to zoom out, and you'll notice like if you study what you do every day, then you start getting like, oh man, I'm doing really bad right now. And sometimes it's not that bad. And I believe in the consistencies too. But something I learned from Mike Trampy is that when you post your beats, use all the free platforms you possibly can. So when you're dropping a beat on BeatStars, also put it on AudioMac, put it on SoundCloud, and all the different clouds, whatever. and because you're gonna start building up your SEO. It's like a bunch of different people going around saying, oh, Wishmaster does type beats and rap beats and hip hop beats and these type beats. And by building that and being consistent, dropping it every day or every other day, you're going to start building that SEO on Google, and then people are going to start talking about you, and then it's going to start building up your business. So I think those are the main things.
I think those are all very helpful suggestions. I think something that we talk about a lot is maneuvering between the creativity and the business portion. And I think it's important, like you said, to know both, and be able to navigate through both a little more effortlessly. All right, let's start sharing this music. Let me get 18's playlist up here. All right, y'all, let me do this. Okay. Is there a track that you want to start with?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it's not showing up but if like, yeah, okay, yeah. The Forget Me beat is probably the one I have like the craziest story to tell.
Okay.
So yeah, start with that.
You want to tell it now?
Yeah, I just have like a little introduction. I think that we can play the beat. Basically, yeah, that was like the first beat that I made, like the first like Brent Faiyaz beat that I tried to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened to be when I was kind of stuck with creativity, and I tried to approach it as like a composition and not like a beat, just because sometimes you just get stuck with, I have to make like this section or this other section for be rappable, like people to sing on it. And yeah, what I did is just approach it as a composition. That's why you don't hear like basically any drums other than like some snaps and all that. And that happens to be also the beat that Irene Kate used for her track Down Bad, which is an independent artist that I've worked with. And that's probably, yeah, the biggest track that I have out with an independent artist. And I actually found about that because of you guys. When you reached out to me, you said you listened to this track, and I had no idea of what was this track. So I did like my research, and I found out that it was like going viral basically on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the crazy part, is that after like 1 month, I found that I found about that. Like Kylie Jenner used it on her stories for some reason. Like she made like literally a 3 seconds Instagram story, and yeah, it went crazy. Right now, I think it has like more than 5 million streams across platforms, something like that, which is crazy to me.
That's so crazy. All right, let's listen. That's an incredible story.
Yeah, it was.
All right, can everyone hear? I mean, it's gonna start playing now, but. Really only supposed to play a minute. I wish I could play more, but it sounds so beautiful.
Thank you.
Don't forget to rate the track out of 5. Emojis in the chat, guys. I want to see what the ratings are. I think that was gorgeous. What's your next track you want to play?
Let's go with the soul one. Yeah, the last one.
Soul? All right.
That was like a sexual chocolate type beat. That was dope. I like it.
yeah, that was.
All right, let's go. So dope. I feel like the tags are perfect so far. Like you put Tyler the Creator, I think that is on. Definitely. All right, next track. What do you want to play?
So let's play the Saloon beat.
All right, this is the most played on the playlist.
Yeah, that went crazy for some reason.
Let's go. Dope. I think maybe this, my guess is that there's not a lot of people who are making like Smino type beats, and my guess is that you caught that wave there.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah. For me, like finding my niche was definitely Smino beats, and then I went for like, of course, people like that work with Smino and just relate to his sound. But yeah, that I love his sound. So yeah. That was
spot on. All right, 2 more. What you want to play?
All right, the Mystery Lady one. I feel it's really representative of like the Smino sound, probably.
All right, let's do it. Fire. I think you're right on the money with the Smino type beats. Definitely. All right, what's your last beat that you want to play?
So the last, let's play Jungle Book, which is kind of different.
All right, let's do it. I was getting lost because I was jamming and everybody else was jamming too. Thank you so much for sharing. I think
No problem.
I think the niche that, or like the pocket that you're in, is something that personally I'm not seeing is explored a lot on the platform. So I think keep doing what you're doing, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about all of the secret sessions and all the things that come of that as you continue. Thank you for sharing. All right,
no
so
problem.
Wysh.
All right, they're all pretty whack, so let's just find something that's not as whack. All right, let's try it. No, do Overcome with Hook.
Overcome? Oh, you want me to search this?
Oh, it should have been right there towards the top.
Oh,
but yeah.
All right.
We keep searching for the answers, trying to find the destiny to our journey. If we went through all the parts with the most damage, with our eyes closed, we would never know what we've overcome.
Wow. I think that's one of those like anthemic kind of songs with hooks, you know what I mean? Super dope.
Yeah, it's Alonda Rich. I think she actually won one of the BeatStars contests. I think she did like a remix or something. But yeah, she's a dope artist.
Damn. I love that you're like collaborating with artists in this way. I love beats with hooks on the platform are my personal favorites.
Oh, me too. Especially, I mean, because artists sometimes they're super dope at rapping, or they might be able to sing verses, but they just can't come up with like a perfect hook. So it just makes it easier. So
helps give somebody some direction too if they don't have any. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, what?
I'll say I'm actually working on right now to start bringing in mainstream artists into the BeatStars platform and start doing hooks on top of my beats that I can give to artists. So I've already done it. I've done it outside of BeatStars, but I'm going to start. That's what I'm working on this year. So they have the opportunity to collab with people, but not have to pay thousands of dollars. So
right, I think that is a beautiful initiative and so needed. So thank you for doing that. That's so dope.
So get ready to market that Mike Trampy.
Hey, I'm still in here and heard that. All right, next.
You could just do the first one, Flyby, just because I do everything. I do like dark trap all the way to like country beats. So Flyby is like a cool little baby type beat or something.
All right, dope. Let's go.
I like that really eerie guitar.
Master Beats. WishMasterBeats.com, home of the hottest beats on the net.
Those trap, melodic, emotional.
Yeah, I like those like Juice World. You know what I mean? Like those type of cool.
Hard. All right, everyone's loving it in the chat. Zevi Jones said "Old Young Thug," and like, yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah.
All right, what you want to do?
You can do Chavos right there. I love reggaeton music too, so I do that. Yeah.
All right, okay, very eclectic. Let's go.
Wishmaster Beats. Wishmaster Beats.
Giving us summertime beach energy. Wait, you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a schizophrenic when I make beats. I just go like from, just like crazy dark stuff to like happy stuff, and I just love making music. Like I said, it's like therapy, right?
Yeah, I think I love that you're experimenting and just like doing what feels right for you, especially because you already know either which way you'll probably catch somebody enjoying this. So, okay, 2 more to go.
You can do like, it's right there. Bring the choir. That's like, I don't know if you guys know what NF is. It's towards the bottom. It's like right there. Not towards the bottom, but just like a little bit down. Sorry.
I'll just search it. Bring the
choir.
choir. There you go.
Yeah, it's like NF.
Let's go.
Wishmaster Beats. Wishmasterbeats.com.
All right, that bounce. I was just doing this the whole time. All right, let's do one more.
All right, if you want to search, it's called Mountains. We'll leave everybody with some inspirational.
Ooh. All right.
Wishmaster Beats.
Purchase this Wysh beat today.
Wishmaster Beats.
Purchase this Wysh beat today.
Wishmasterbeats.com.
All right, that's all we had time for. I wanted to let that one run, but you literally gave us every single genre. You're muted still, so I don't know if you want to mute yourself.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, meaning like I love that I can do every genre, but it's tough when you're trying to go after like certain keywords and stuff. You know what I mean? Like when I drop stuff on YouTube, it's like, it could be Justin Bieber, and then it goes to like something else. So that's the only tough thing, but it's still good because, especially when you bring a lot of customers in, and then like they can pick anything off my site. But yeah, thank you.
100%. You're exercising your creativity. I love that. Well, thank you to Wishmaster and 18 for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate your guys' energy and your insights. We're so lucky to have you on the BeatStars team, and I can't wait to see what else you guys do next. So make sure to keep everybody informed so we can showcase you. As you guys know, Twitter Spaces is happening right now, so you can head over to Twitter at BeatStars to hang out with Abe and Sid while they talk about BeatStars distribution. If that's something you're interested in and learning more about, definitely hop in that conversation, ask your questions, take your notes, all of the above, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday, same time, same place. Shout out to y'all again. Be safe, everybody. Wash your hands, social distance, all that stuff. Later, everybody.
Awesome right now. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.